Sometimes in a life there comes a moment when the music and the lights come together, and nothing will ever be the same.
Sometimes in a life there comes a moment
when the music and the
lights
come together,
and nothing will ever be
the same.
Edith? Anna? Anyone?
Yes, dear.
What is that rumbling I hear?
It's nothing, dear. Go back to sleep.
I wasn't sleeping.
Of course not.
When did that roundabout appear?
Ignore it, dear. Go back to sleep.
I wasn't sleeping.
My mistake.
What was that?
Not a blessed thing. Put your feet up. Heaven knows that we shouldn't let some rumbling disturb our little doze. It's just the world at my window, disguised as the annual fair. And as usual, I'm on the inside. Well, the world is always somewhere out there. But if the world's at a distance, it proves that as you sow you shall reap. And when you make your own bed, then it's natural that he should sleep. I knew it, Calliope's don't lie. In all my years I never, it's the fair. Oh, I can't wait to go. My wages are all gone, but it's worth it for this dress. I have to get permission from the mistress. Anna, why are you dressed like that?
Like what? Oh, I didn't even notice.
Anna.
What?
Come, Anna.
Yes?
Can you hear it? Can you feel it?
What?
Can't you feel the surge through the walls and through the floors?
Yes.
It's good to know that some things can't be drowned out by his snores. Come see the world at my window.
You're right, Mum, it's something to see. And I'm sure it's enough just to look on it and dream of all the fun it could be.
But there's a crack in the window, and it's letting in the sound of the fair. Anna, you be my eyes, go and bring me a prize and some air.
Oh, Mum, really? You want me to go to the fair?
Yes, really, Anna.
Well, if you insist.
There's a world, they say, with no gavel and no bench. And if I'm awake to find it, I may find a willing wench.
And who knows, I may even meet the love of my life.
And show her the world.
To the world at my
She thinks I'm
window,
sleeping.
and see what there is there to
I
see.
haven't slept since 1850.
I shall see the world at my window, and I'll be there vicariously.
And if it's just for the moment,
It's more than enough for me now, for it is something that I can hold on to when I return from the wonder of now back to then. When I am back where I've been, with the world at my window again.
Mum, you've never seen such a sight. It's quite beyond compare. The spectacle of it all. To call it a fair just ain't fair. The air was all filled with the steam barrel organ, the clanging of gongs, the ringing of handbells. But as brilliant as it was tonight, tomorrow will be twice as bright. And I cannot wait for the day after the fair. The day after. Oh, the night was aglow with the lights of the city, the pleasure machines, the swings and the seesaws. But as thrilling as the evening seems, tomorrow will be in my dreams. And I can't be late for the day after the fair.
Indeed.
Now nothing could compare with the steam roundabout, the wondrous carousel, my favourite ride, the rise and the fall of the horses, the trumpets, the drums and the cymbals, and a man by my side.
A man?
Yes, Mum, a man.
How pretty you look up there on that horse.
Thank you, sir.
Do you mind if I ride alongside you?
Not at all, sir.
Oh, Anna, I'll wager you don't know one thing about this man and what he does, where he lives, why, even his name.
Oh, I do know his name.
The name is Charles. Charles Bradford.
He came from London, where everybody lives who lives at all. He lives in London, but he prefers the country. Did I mention he was tall? Oh, Mum, you've never seen such a man.
I
He's
can
quite
see
beyond
through
compare.
your eyes.
A gentleman to his toes, well bred to the core.
Hurry up, tell me more.
Oh, I hope I'm not boring you, Mrs. Harnham. We walked.
No, you don't.
Through the steam circus proper. Then far from the crowd, he found us a shadow. Then he begged a kiss. He said it would do me no harm and him some good. We swore then to meet the day after the fair was all filled with the steam barrel organ, the clanging of gongs, the ringing of handbells. But as brilliant as it was tonight, tomorrow will be twice as bright.
So? Oh, yes, all right, Anna. You may have tomorrow as well. Now, tell me the lot.
Then the steam roundabout started whirling again,
To the clanging of gongs and the shouting of men.
and he lifted me up on the prettiest steed, and I thought I would faint from his touch. No, the speed, but he stood by my horse with his arm around my waist, and I knew I could learn how to care for this gentleman
From London.
just here for a day or two to visit, and we're looking forward to tomorrow more than I can say. For most people recall a day of the fair best of all, but I shall remember the day after the fair.
Ah, there is nothing like a good claret.
Yes, dear. Is it better to set an empty table with a solitary place, or look across a crystal goblet into an empty face. Close race.
There is a certain bouquet to this vintage I got.
I got just what I asked for, just what I deserve. I might have stuck it out and waited for romance, I just didn't have the nerve. So I hurried and married. Mustn't pass your prime. The wedding made me trust that life was finally just, if only just in time. That life gives precisely the things we don't want is not my regret. What's sadder to me is the things that I got are just what I wanted to get. This is just how I planned it. Edith as a waif. Though others may have more, a maid on every floor should justify my life. And who knows, someday I may see something just looking across at his face. And so, despite disillusions, I'm looking and waiting just in case.
So I told him it was sour. He did nothing, of course.
But of course there is honor. Out with a young man, they're dancing and wondering where they will dine. With his arms around her, that beautiful young man. They drink from the fruit of their love and never open a bottle of wine.
I love you, Charles.
And I love you,
Anna.
Anna.
And I was amazed. He had introduced me to the butler. Can you imagine? The butler. What could he have been thinking?
I pictured the future with eyes open wide. He's not to be blamed. But who would suppose when the picture was done, I'd be the one to be framed? But the canvas is perfect. That's become a must. No need to be dismayed if colors tend to fade. One keeps learning to adjust. And just beyond all the fading colors are crimson and yellow and blue, shining true as the miracles Father predicted would happen all over the place. So if a miracle happens, I'm here with my baggage. Just blow off the cobwebs and dust. I'll be here waiting. Just in case. You are sure that you want me to write the letter for you?
Just to put down my words. I couldn't bear him to think I'm not able to do it myself. I should sink into the earth in shame if he knew that.
But if I were to write the letter from you, and I'm not saying that I will, well, I will have to know some important and intimate details so that he would not think it a fraud.
Like what?
He says here in the letter something about that day, the day after the fair.
Yes?
I need to know what you did that day.
That day?
Yes.
Well, we rode for a while and then we walked.
Oh, is that all? You rode and you walked?
Well, we talked for a bit and we walked again. We walked until reached a field, and then we rested.
You rested. You mean to say that you sat in the field?
At first, we only did that in the field, and then don't make me tell you I'm blushing pink all over.
That's all very well. You won't have a note to post.
Don't make me tell you what happened in the clover.
The clover in the field in which we rested. Rested after talking,
After walking,
after riding. Let me ask you once again. And then, Anna! I cannot play this game all day. I will have no time left for tea. Well, let us get on with the letter.
Then you'll do it?
Yes, I will. Now, would you like to hear what you are going to write? Beloved, what rapture to read what you say. The words cannot capture what I feel today. The moment we shared was exquisite and sublime. A moment in space, a moment in time. You ask me to send you a tender reply. Let my words befriend you, and please know that I am longing and waiting for words from your pen. Please write me when we can share a moment again, and remember till then I'm your Anna.
Beloved, amazing, where did she find the words? My dear friend William, you'll recall I wrote to you of my last jaunt on the Western Circuit. Among the many towns and girls, there has turned out to be one odd duck. A little red-haired maid named Anna. Anna. A simple country girl, lacking pomp and complication. Quite the very type I favor, far beneath my station. She was just a summer fancy. I thought I'd have a whirl if my schedule could work it. On the odd occasion when I'm on the Western Circuit, a kind of impromptu dance called a summer fancy. Then this letter arrives and dispels all my preconceived notions. I'm feeling happy and hopeful and just a bit scared. With all my careless affairs, I have never much cared before. As I've always done with the others, I gave the girl only 2/3 of my name, Charles Bradford, leaving off the family name of Ray. This practice has always made me feel safer. Oddly enough, this time I feel guilty. I get letters galore, and from women who call themselves ladies. but they all play out their hands in the obvious ways. She knows the play is more potent when one underplays. Good show! The moment I'm prepared to dismiss her and forget her, what I thought would be a scribble turns into a letter. Restraint may soon be essential. This conquest may be consequential. I've always known at a glance how to pick out a lass, but this one summer fancy refuses to pass. There's nothing I can say or do. This summer fancy may last the whole winter through. Your devoted friend, Charles Bradford Ray. Beloved, amazing, where did she find the words?
Creditors, creditors, send letters to the editors of several London papers in complaint. 30 days overdue. Invoices that can talk to you for everything from bottle corks to paint. The Morning Post, you might say, is not my favorite part of any day. Here is another letter for you, Anna, from London again.
Oh, thank you, sir.
Anna, please come up and do my room after my nap.
Yes, Mrs. Harnham. Somehow everything is new. A door is opening up and I am going through. Somewhere very deep inside are feelings that I never even thought to hide.
Another letter, another chance to express my innermost thoughts. Another letter, another hour of letting my fancy go. How would that I relish it so? Yes, come in, Anna.
Another letter.
I'm reading now.
Another day will arrive and then you can read. But it's a letter. And if we don't write him now, there's a chance he might think I don't love him. So we must post a letter tonight.
Oh, Anna, how silly. All right. Let's see. Beloved, why do I feel so jumpy and nervous? Why does the pen tremble in my hand? Why this intense anticipation? The more I write, the less I understand.
And remember till then, I'm your Anna. My dear friend William, you have always been such a patient friend in reading of my exploits. I enclose a second letter from the one called Anna. As you can see, she has instinctively found my Achilles heel, and that is a dangerous thing. Dearest Anna.
Another letter.
Dearest Anna, what a joy it is to hear from you again. The words that you put on paper.
Somehow everything is new. A door is open wide and I am running through.
Fondly, Charles. Well, what shall we say today?
Oh, tell him that he's...
I know. How about this? Beloved, every morning I run just to greet you. I read you in a flash
And when I need to, I reread you.
Oh, mistress, how do you do it? It's like it's from your own heart.
Oh,
Edith, I was thinking that perhaps we might go for a walk this afternoon.
this afternoon. Oh, no, Arthur, I shall be too busy this afternoon.
Well, perhaps another time.
Yes, perhaps.
My dear William, Anna is somehow unlike the other girls. Their notes reveal them for what they are, easy conquests. But Anna's, I find myself reading them again and again, and yearning for something more than just my arms around her. I am confused by this girl who has suddenly turned to a woman. But as the autumn arrives, I can see that it's clear. This summer fancy won't wither when winter is here.
Another letter. You look beautiful, Mum. You seem to be getting younger.
Another letter, and how amazing to see with each passing day his words make the years melt away.
Somehow everything is new. A door is opened up and I am going through. Somewhere just behind the door are feelings that I never even felt before. Beloved,
Another letter, another chance to express my innermost thoughts. Another letter, another answer to write, and when I am through, somehow everything is new.
another letter, another letter.
Every morning I run.
Every morning I run. Every morning I run.
Just to greet you,
Beloved,
beloved.
Beloved,
who would dream that my life would start? That a pen and paper could warm my heart? That the morning post could have such pull? That my empty life could be so full? I will ask for nothing better. Just let there always be another letter.
Prettier, younger. It is obvious to see a door is opening up, but not to me. Not to me. Not to me. Edith, what's this?
This? Oh, just one of the letters that I am helping Anna to write to her beau. You must have noticed that we've been occupied of late.
No, I haven't. Yes, I have. May I see it?
Oh, of course.
Beloved?
The poor child practically begged me to help her with the letter.
Beloved, the letters, your letters.
Mostly I help her with her grammar and spelling, and I throw in a few ideas.
I remember sunlit mornings long before I fell asleep, and I'm waiting in a garden for the letters that I swore I'd always keep, but they're gone. gone.
I've even helped her with an opening salutation.
Nothing stays.
Something quite romantic.
All that's left is the phrase. Every morning I run just to greet you. Strange how a memory that was short grows longer with every bottle of port.
And who knows, maybe someday, if I continue to help, there will be a wedding.
I remember our country wedding, witnessed by my sister and some cows, while your father, the minister, administered the vows.
Of course, that could be years away.
It's been years since I thought of that day, or the one when you turned to say,
Arthur, a baby is on its way.
and the nursery is waiting, and the rocking horse is carved, and the cradle's by the window that looks out into the garden as it thrives. But how swiftly joy was done. Have a drink and bury your son. The doctor says there is no reason why you couldn't have another child if you want to.
I just need some time, Arthur. Just a little time.
Years go by, nothing stays. All that's left is the phrase, every morning I run just to greet you. Oh, Edith, what are you doing?
Oh, Mum, I'm going to have a baby.
Oh, my God. But what makes you think Charles will take you in this condition?
He has to. He must.
There are no laws that say he must.
But what if he never writes me again? What if this is the end?
Don't say that. This is not the end. Our hands not played out. Doubting makes you scared. So we'll throw away doubt. He'll write, and he'll right the wrong. This can't be the finish of this beautiful song.
I'm scared, Mum. I'm truly scared.
I know, Anna. But as my father always said, somehow we must go on. This is not the end.
This is not the end.
Our hands not played out. Doubting makes you scared.
I will not be scared.
So we'll throw away doubt. We'll write, and he'll right the wrong. This can't be the finish of this beautiful song. This is not the time.
This is not the time.
Not for accusation. There must never be.
There must never be.
Grim recrimination.
Make him feel that we'll never be.
We're not a burdensome load. And this won't be the end of the road. This is not the end. This is not the end. woman I've become with a heart that beats anew, does not know what to do. If I refuse to write to him as she intended, then nothing will ever be the same. But if I choose the pen, then it is all but ended, and nothing will ever be the same. How poetic when justice occurs. The child is expecting her own, but it can't be denied. Her fate is decided by notes I sign. Still, the baby will always be hers, while I and the notes are alone. Her reward for our lives, an infant that cries. It'll wet, it'll whine, and I wish it were mine. Beloved, every morning I run just to greet you. Today I must write with news. News of a miracle. Our day together after the fair has brought about a wonderful miracle, but one that must be dealt with lovingly. I am going to have
A baby.
a baby.
A baby.
Dear Mr. Harnham,
Is this the end? No, it ain't, not today.
nothing at all now to fear.
Beloved or friend, this could go either
The
way.
only thing clear is the moth is too near the flame, and nothing will ever be
I got the most amusing letter, dear.
the same.
Sometimes in a
Sometimes in a life.
This letter is from Anna's beau. He wants me to meet with him at the tea shop at the railway station at 4:15 to discuss her future. Imagine that.
There comes a moment.
Really? How nice. The place to be. A chat. A spot of tea. How nice the railway view. How nice for you. Anything else in the content?
No, it's rather mysterious, and I hate mysteries. So, we shall leave this one unsolved.
You mean you are not going?
No. You handle it, Edith.
But why?
Yes, you can handle it, Edith. You are up to the task, and
You really think so?
yes, you know the girl so much better than
I do.
So you'll have tea with the lad and report to me when you're through. True.
Maybe you're right. The tea shop at 4:15, you say.
Precisely, dear.
But is it polite? May a woman go between?
She may.
Well, the girl's in my care, so the liaison should be me.
Good. It's all over, but the shouting.
One can always use an outing,
And of course, a spot of tea.
And there is always something soothing in that afternoon pick-me-up.
And when you're through, you can read your future in the leaves that are left at the bottom of the cup.
Why, Arthur, I never thought of you in the mystical sense.
There is more to each of us than meets the eye, Mrs. Harnham.
But Arthur, I don't know what I shall say to him.
Just see what he wants, dear.
This plan.
Yes?
Perhaps it's better for all if you handle it man to man.
Could be you're right, dear.
What?
A man-to-man talk with her ardent and eager beau.
Oh,
And I may learn such a lot from the lad. Yes, I think I'll go.
no. On the way home, I could purge myself of sin.
Sin?
At church.
Of course it should.
And one must be sure that poor Anna is not left in.
The lad?
Yes, so I'll meet him at the station for a bit of conversation. But as anyone can see, my primary goal in doing the chore is the scone
And the jam?
and the bread.
Nothing more than a nice hot spot.
You can chat of this and that and never be at sea, as long as you have got a nice hot spot of tea.
Most people can read, but most people see words, a page full of symbols and signs. But I found all that I need by learning to read between the lines. Each phrase that she writes reveals part of her soul. Each sentence more clearly combines the girl that she used to be with the woman I see between the lines. That rarest of creatures, a woman of imagination, unschooled she well may be. Those charms that attracted me had distracted me from her station, but one look within has made me see. Although she may be young, her words seem to be wise, and all of my being still pines for something I never had seen. A woman who's been where I've been and taught me to read between the lines. When I first met Anna, I wanted her to be a summer fancy. But relationships rule themselves. And after rereading the treasures that I keep tied up in a ribbon.
You keep them tied in a ribbon?
Yes, I do. And I'm afraid I've fallen hopelessly in love with the woman tucked neatly away in those envelopes.
Oh, dear.
Well, let me show you, Mrs. Harnham. Yes, I've brought some of the letters with me. Here, read this one.
No, I couldn't. Really, I couldn't.
Please.
Well, maybe just a short one.
See the flare in her hand.
One is drawn out toward her,
That's not easy to
in
find.
spite of oneself. And she does have a way with words.
Do you feel that way too?
She's very bright in her ideas. And it's clear these two people surely belong together.
You have made up my mind.
What do you mean?
When you first sat down at the table, I was still unsure. But if you can also see with just a short glance at the letters her special qualities, well then, I shouldn't hesitate for a moment. I will write her and tell her that I cannot live without her.
And I helped you decide that.
Yes! Isn't it wonderful? That rarest of creatures,
He loves me.
a woman of imagination.
An imaginary woman. We fooled
She
him.
well may be.
Or did he fool me?
Those charms that attracted me had distracted me from her station.
Even her stationery's mine.
But one look within has made me see, and I can hardly wait to hold her in my arms again. Oh, Mrs. Harnham. You must be the most sympathetic person in the world. You have tears in your eyes. Tears for me and my pretty young girl.
Yes, that she is pretty.
And young.
Mustn't forget young. Well, I must be getting home to my rocking chair and knitting needles.
Something I never had seen.
I see.
A woman who knows what I mean.
It's
has taught
me.
to
It's me.
between the lines. Thank you for helping me to decide. Good day, Mrs. Harnham.
Goodbye. Beloved. What would you say, Anna, if I told you you shouldn't marry Charles?
What do you mean, shouldn't? He loves me.
Does he? Is it you that he loves?
Of course it is. Who else would it be? Mrs. Harnham, he loves me. He says so in the letters to me.
Letters to you. Now we get the point. Who wrote the letters?
You did.
That is the point. You've excluded letters to you. But who held the pen?
You.
That's what we both decided. And read you the letters. I did. The notes needing answers grew massive. But with each passing missive, you grew more passive.
But it was me who told you what to write. They was my feelings, my thoughts.
Don't be ridiculous. If I had written what you had wanted me to write, we would never have gotten a single reply. He fell in love with the letters, with the woman in the lines.
No, he loves me. You wasn't there that day after the fair.
The fair is over. This is after the fair. Open your eyes, Anna. There's a woman he's in love with. She has won his heart through his mind. You are not that woman he will very soon find.
Don't say that.
There's a woman he will long for. It is wrong for you to pretend you are not that woman, and the farce has to end.
I'm not listening.
How can you imagine you would ever fit the bill? You don't know what love is, and you never will. You are never up to playing out the role. You may have touched his body, but the woman has touched his soul. There's a woman whom he writes to. They spend nights together in thought. You are never that woman, and you're sure to be caught. There's a woman, don't forget her. She's your better, why can't you see? You're just a girl, but the fact is that woman is...
Mrs. Harnham, please!
This has to end, Anna. We must tell him all, that I've been writing the letters for you. He must know what is real.
What is real? He knows what is real. That day in the field, that's real, not fancy poetry. Oh no, it's you that don't know what is real. You want to know what is real? Words on the page ain't the answer. A letter addressed with a seal, that's not what's real. What I had is real. The touch of his hand that makes you go weak. The rub of his stubble against your cheek. The smooth of his brow, the strength of his arm. You know when he holds you, you can't come to harm. The warmth of his breath, the hair on his chest, so soft as it lies there, right near your breast. A paper and pen could never compare to holding him close and ruffling his hair. The things that you wrote can't touch what we feel. It's never been words what is real. A paragraph ain't like his love. That is what is real.
You stupid child.
The touch of his hand she has won his heart through his mind. The rub of his startled woman he will very soon find. The smooth of his brow, the strength. It is wrong for you to pretend you know when he holds you and comes to wear the warmth of his breath. Don't know what love is and you never will. So it's never as it playing out the road. You may have touched his body, but the woman has touched his soul. There's a woman who they spend nights together and to hold. You will never be the woman he imagined, and you're certain to be caught. The thief is a woman, don't forget, can't touch. She's your battlefield. He's a man mistakenly made. What is real to a baby in a baby? But a paragraph, though she'll never be real. You're just a girl from perspective. That's what it is.
me. 100 miles away, my Anna's waiting there, as I await the day that she arrives. Each night I give my thanks that soon we'll join the ranks of men and wives.
Edith, I understand there is to be a blessed event.
What?
Cook tells me that Anna is to be married.
Oh, yes, she is.
You must be very proud of your accomplishment.
Oddly enough, I am.
100 miles away, my wife will have a test. This final test will prove just who survives. My fate will be revealed, or like the letters sealed by men and wives.
Oh, thank you for the dress, Mrs. Oh, I don't know how we could have ever fought. You're the only friend I got.
No, thank you, Anna. Well, let's try it on.
And the nursery is waiting and the rocking horse is carved, and the cradle's by the window that looks out into the garden as it thrives on the dreams of lucky men and wives.
What does you mean in the letter a private wedding?
No fuss, no bother, no guests.
But you will come along, Mum. I wouldn't know what to say to him. You will come?
Yes, I will, Anna. After all, one must be in on the death of a dream.
So if I let her go, perhaps she will return and bring with her the hope within the pain. If I am unafraid, we may join the parade of men and wives again. Perhaps we should send this rocking horse on for Anna. She's bound to start a family soon. Though the nursery's still waiting and the rocking horse is gone, must the cradle sitting empty be a symbol of the couple and their lives? Or are there dreams for lonely men and wives?
100 miles from now,
100 miles from now, we may yet be a family.
The happy ending's coming up,
for something should last. The future is what drives the hopes of men and wives,
and the future,
yes, the future
is coming.
Is coming.
Is that what it was?
Charles.
Yes, that's what it was. You were her scribe through it all. None of the words came from her.
Some.
That's what it was all along.
No, you've got it all wrong. The words may be mine, the thoughts and the feelings were hers, but
you wrote letters to me.
yes,
Some you did not even see.
Yes.
How can two be divided by three?
Yes, it's true, Charles. She held the paper and pen. But the feeling we had in the field, we can surely have that again.
Every morning I run just to greet you. Did you write that, and is a word of it real? How do I know what's the truth, and if you can even feel what she said that you feel?
I love you, Charles.
Do you? And so what if you do? Which part of the woman I love are you? Am I dreaming? And if I'm not, what am I left with? What have I got?
I'm your wife.
What have I got? You should have worn your country clothes. Every morning I run just to greet you.
oh my God.
Who would ever think that words designed to win you could defeat you? And your words were music leading me along. Who knew when they were through there would be no song?
I only wrote what she
How
asked
you
me
both
to.
must have laughed to deceive me. You burst into my life and brought me music just to leave me. And your words were music drifting off too soon, leaving me with only a an unfinished tune.
Yes, I penned every note, but it was she who felt what I wrote, not I.
Can't you see what you've done? Undercover in the music that we share, I discover you're my lover.
No.
The question now is why continue to deny the passion that has opened all the doors?
I never meant a word.
Come, are these her words? In all the letters that turned to music? Or is the music yours?
Hush.
I will not hush. Why should you disguise the full truth when you've already told half of it? I will kiss you. If it was all pure invention in those letters, then give me your cheek only. But if you meant what you said, then let it be lips. It is for the first and last time.
Can you ever forgive me? Every morning I run just to greet you. I read you in a flash, and when I need to, I reread you.
Here are your things, Mrs. Hunnam. I wouldn't want you to miss your train. My husband and I hope that you will visit us again after the baby arrives.
Edith, how amazing that all of this was brought about by that blasted fair. Maybe I should have attended. Who knows what the after effects might have been then?
One must attend the fair, Arthur, no matter what occurs. Sometimes in a life,
there comes a
moment when the music and the lights come together, and nothing can
This letter arrived for you, dear.
Beloved, how could I not write?